Hello my friends, welcome to Prime Strings. I'm Henriette and today we are practicing the scale and arpeggio of D major. This video is part of a series of 3 videos about the G, the D and the A major scales and their arpeggios. So you might want to alternate them. They are very similar, all 3 of them, and you might want to alternate them, play D one day and A the next day and G the following day. Or you might learn one scale first and one arpeggio, and whatever suits you best. So we have learned in our previous video about what a scale actually is. So let's now play the scale of D. And you're most welcome to join in with the playing straight away. So have your violin and your bow ready. And I'm going to count us in for 2, and then we'll play every note of the scale twice with long bows. So we've learned in our previous video that our finger pattern is like this. So I've got a gap between fingers 1 and 2, and then my second and third fingers, they are right next to one another, so they are together. Also, you might note that my first finger is about a finger width away from the beginning of the string, right there. So when you're ready, check over your finger line, your thumb and your tennis ball, which means that you have an imaginary tennis ball here, so that pushes your wrist out that way, and then you're ready to start. So let's play every note twice with long bows. After 2, 1, 2. Hold a moment here and let's get all 3 fingers ready to play on the D string. When you're ready, here we go. Super, well done. So you noticed when I come down the scale and when I go from the A string onto the D string, I just take a moment to get all my fingers in the correct places before I then play the third finger. What we don't want to do is to leave your fingers in the air and just have a single finger on the string. This is by no means reliable for the tuning of your violin, so you know you'd need to find where all 3 fingers are and then play it from there. Shall we play it again? And this time I would like you to check over your bow hold. And a good bow hold, as you probably know, is that you play with a bent thumb. So your thumb has this shape, look. And then I put my thumb into this little corner here. So I know that this corner here cries out for having a thumb, but it's actually not the correct place. It is this corner. So from your end, that looks like this little corner here. There we go. And then you have your middle finger opposite your thumb. And then place your ring finger right by the side of your middle finger. And then you have a space between your index finger and your middle finger, and also a space between your pinky and your ring finger, like that. Now make sure that your pinky is not on the metal part of your bow here, but it's on the wood. So it's not that far apart, you see. You just have a space, a finger width space between your fingers there. Alright, so now let's see if we now play the D major scale, if we can hold our bow hold like that, and when we've finished, when we just play the last note of the scale, let's check our bow hold and see if we've still got the correct one, shall we? So again, we're playing every note twice with long bows. After 2, 1, 2. fingers, and now onto the D string. That's it. Well done. So let's check over that bow hold, shall we? Did you manage to keep your thumb bent still? Did you manage to keep your little finger on that side edge of the bow? That's awesome if you can do that. Don't worry if this time you didn't quite make it, because next time you might well feel a lot better about it. Super. Now this time I would like us to check our left hand as well, and we've talked about this crease here before. This is called your finger line, and your finger line should be level with the E string. So have your finger line in place. Check over your left thumb so that is just peeking over the edge right there, and then push your wrist out. Remember, here we go. Let's play the D scale once more and focus on the left hand this time. 1, 2. Okay, now this time we're going to think about our straight bowing. And we know that if we bow, we need to push our bow hand forward so that you stretch your bow arm and you end straight in front of your tummy with your bow arm. If you by accident go this way and your bow arm goes sideways, so this way, you did see perhaps how my bow slipped across the fingerboard, you see? Now we don't want that, we want our bow always to be playing parallel to the bridge, so therefore that needs to be the angle of your arm, you see? So we always think that bowing goes this way, but actually it goes this way, funnily enough. So this last time when we play the D scale one more time, let's focus on our straight bowing, shall we? Here we go. After the count of 2, 1, 2. Wow, you've practiced that D scale so well today. Really, really good. That is very useful to know, a D scale. because there are many pieces for the violin that are written in the key of D major. So I'm hoping that whenever you play a piece that has two sharps where it's key signature at the beginning of the music, you will practice this scale before you start your piece. Because sections of this scale and also sections of the arpeggio that we're going to practice very shortly will appear in your music. I can almost guarantee you that. So whilst you are learning to play the violin and you are establishing your technique, you want to practice these basic techniques and make sure that the basic patterns you have got very thoroughly in your head. So I'll show you an example of what the D major arpeggio looks like on music. You'll see it very shortly appear in your screen. I would like you to learn that off by heart. So let's practice it together, shall we? We're starting on the D string. Next up we're playing 2 fingers on D. Then we're playing an open A string. And then we're playing at the top of the arpeggio 3 fingers on the A string. And then we go down in the exact same way as we've come up. Open A, 2 fingers on D and D. Don't worry if that goes way too fast for you. I'll talk you through it as we go along. So when we play an arpeggio, we play every note with a whole bow. And we're also playing every note once as opposed to every note twice in the scale, you see. So that's a slight difference. But when we play the arpeggio and we've covered it all up to the end, we're just playing the whole arpeggio over again with the repeat. Here we go. I'll count us in for 3 this time. So have your left hand ready to play an open D string first. 1, 2, 3. Long note for an end of this arpeggio. So have you remembered your fingers? It's D, then 2 on D, then A with no fingers, and then 3 fingers on A. Shall we do that again? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Still be a little bit confusing for you. Very soon, I imagine, you'll get used to that and you'll find it a lot easier. So practice it every day and you'll very soon get very good at this. Now, I just want to think for a moment about what the letter names are of each note that we've played so far. So we're starting on the D string with no fingers. So that's the easy one. What do you think that's called? I'm hoping that you've just said D. Thank goodness for that. Now, next up is 2 fingers on D. And as you know, notes go like the alphabet. So D was the note, was the string with no fingers. So 1 finger on D would be called E, and the second finger is called F sharp. So our arpeggio goes D, F sharp. The next note is an A. And then we get 3 fingers on A. And 3 fingers on A is called, have a guess? So you go A, B, C sharp, D. So 3 fingers on the A string is called D. So when we join up our whole arpeggio, it's called D, F sharp, A, D. Now this note is very special. This D should match with an open D string, so I'm just going to check that, shall I? Look. This note here, does it sound the same as that one? So these two notes are both called D, and when I play them together, they melt together, as it were, if you have your third finger perfectly in tune. Of course, if something goes a little bit out of kilter, you might go like that. Ooh, and that is not what we want. So if it doesn't quite match, perhaps you can move your finger around. And then there will be a point where you're perfectly in tune and those two notes melt together very nicely and therefore are in tune. If I go a little bit too flat with my finger, it might sound like that. Now hold your ears. Oh, that's horrible, isn't it? So now listen carefully what happens if I make my finger slightly higher. So you might always listen out for that octave, as it's called. So we want to play a D, which is low, and a D, which is high, together. They together make up the interval of an octave, and they should really sound together very nicely. Now, let's play that D major arpeggio one more time, and let's listen carefully if we can get that third finger on A in tune, shall we? We will just hold it once we arrive there and test our notes, and then we go down the arpeggio after 3. 1, 2, 3. Check it. And keep going. Awesome. You're really working very hard and making good progress. I'm very impressed with that. Now, I have recorded also a piano accompaniment for the scale and the arpeggio. So now let's play first the scale and then the arpeggio with piano accompaniment, so you can test the tuning in a slightly different way. I'll count us in for 2, and remember to play each note twice with long bows on the scale. 1, 2. Well done, that was awesome. Very good playing. And now let's play the arpeggio with the accompaniment. And this time I'll count us in for 3. Remember also that we'll play the whole arpeggio over again at the end. 1, 2, 3. Lovely playing, very well done. So you've got a lot better suddenly at the D scale and the D arpeggio in a short space of time, haven't you? So keep up the good work and come back and find this video again tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, so that you really get very, very good and learn these things off by heart. I very much look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye.